probably gonna be my last vlog, at least in this format. And the theme for this one is gonna be why I love my class, the Epsies. And I was super excited to do this one just because I do have a lot of reasons that I love my class, and I think that class dynamic and how well we get along are both things that have been on my mind a lot going through this quarter. And I think that that's because I definitely had expectations coming in to this whole process. And I remember pulling up on I night and just being shocked. and and at the time I was shocked because looking at our class, it seemed so diverse. It felt like there was no way that we would all mesh together. And I couldn't see myself spending as much time as we did all together, and just getting along and having lots of genuine laughs and sharing about ourselves, especially during lock-in. And so I think that really made me see how much there is to be learned from being with people that are completely different than myself. And I'm honestly so grateful to have had such a diverse class, because I learned a lot about myself, and not just people from different backgrounds, but like different ages, because I came in and I thought I would feel very old as a second year. I know it's just 1 year, but I that was a concern that I had, but all of those concerns slowly went away as the quarter went on, I think, and getting to know everyone, getting to know all the layers of everyone. It's honestly just been great, and I feel like I haven't gotten the chance to tell everyone what I think about them and how I feel, and so I'm just gonna go through and just kind of say some thoughts about each person. So yeah, okay, I have the Tumblr, my followers on Tumblr up. Okay, so I am going to start with Jamie. Jamie, I really respect your work ethic, and I think that as treasurer, you've definitely taken it upon yourself to do the most. And I honestly don't know you that well, but I do remember that time we got to talk right before reviews with the PM by the Bruin Bear, and I just got to see a lot of depth in you, and to understand your perspectives about things that a lot of people wouldn't be willing to kind of bring up, especially during this process. I really admired that, and I feel like you're a little crazy on the regular, but I really appreciate the energy that you bring, and like the fact that when you want to do something, you set your mind to it, you can do it. And I feel like just the fact that you're an Olympian badminton player shows that you have a lot of self-discipline, and I think it's great that you can have that side of yourself, but also this really fun, crazy kind of crackheady side that we get to see, and it's a great time. So I love getting to have you in my class, and it's been a great time, and I want to get to know you more, and so we set you up with a pledge review. And then the next person is Shirley. I remember talking to you the most during I night, and I just remember you being blindfolded, and you were the person next to me, and the entire time we were just talking about how you were from Yeehaw Land or something, and like trying to figure out what was going on and how much of a cult this entire situation seemed like, and being freaked out about hot seat, and like getting asked all these weirdly sexual questions and having to answer them in front of 50 people we've never met before. And so I think that like having you during I night was super helpful, because I felt like we kind of had like the same mindset of the entire situation. And honestly, since then, I really feel like there are a lot more layers to you than what meets the eye, and I feel like your openness during lock-in was something that I really respected, just because, at least for myself, I know it would have been really hard to open up like that. And so I wanted to say that I also want to get to know you more, and that it's really admirable that you were willing to open up like that to our entire class. Um, Irene. So I feel like our pledge interview was something that I really loved, just because up until then I was kind of like, what is my role within the class, and I wasn't really sure. But after our pledge interview, and how it was like 2 hours long and we were just talking until feast closed, and you said these are one of the conversations I never want to end. In that moment, I honestly felt kind of like a big sister, and that was something I didn't really expect to feel coming into this whole process. It's something that I've never felt in my entire life, and so that moment for me was super big. And at first I didn't know if I was going to connect with you or not, just because I do feel like we were kind of different. But I think that seeing how hard you work and how much effort you're willing to put in, but still be very happy and enthusiastic and obsessed with all the PMs, it's really made me take a liking towards you. And I really feel like moving forward, I want to have more time to spend with you, not just one-on-one, but just to get to know you more and hear about your thoughts on things, because I feel like it reminds me a lot of how I was freshman year, and I really enjoy that, and I like getting reminded of how freshman year was for me. And then Dana, I feel like we haven't had a lot of time to get close, but there are so many things that I admire about you, not just your like endless ray of energy that's like emitting from your body at all times, but also your attention to detail, and like your ability to see who is maybe feeling singled out or who feels uncomfortable, and to like bring them in and involve them. And I felt that so much during lock-in when we were in a row circle, and you know, like everyone had something to say about each other, everyone had their moment of whatever, and like as soon as you felt like somebody wasn't having that moment, I could feel you like actively trying as hard as you could to think of something to say to them, or like a funny joke to say that would involve them. And so I feel like that is so rare in somebody, and to be that selfless in social situations and in large groups is something that's super respectable. And so I feel like from you I learned how to, I guess, think about myself less in group situations, which is something I struggle with. And yeah, it's just really fun. You bring like a lot of life and energy into any situation, and I think everyone can agree that you are definitely one of a kind. The next person is Thomas. Thomas, I have known you for over a year now, because we lived in the same floor last year in Dykstra 8. And we never really got a chance to get closer until pledging. And when I remember seeing you on I-Night and being so shocked, because I didn't think we would have any connection with each other after last year, but I was so happy to see a familiar face. And honestly, getting to know you more this quarter, I just genuinely really admire and respect you as a person, because I feel like you're able to connect with so many different people and match so many different people's personalities. And I feel like that speaks to how well-rounded of a person you are, and how much you're able to, I guess, read a situation or read a person and know exactly what they need, whether or not like they need some comfort or like just a massage during debriefs. It's just little things like that that say a lot about your personality. And I know we said this during lock-in, but like you're so nice to everyone, and I feel like that is so hard to come by, because there have been so many times where everyone's just tired and done, but somehow you're able to, from I don't know where, pull out this genuine kindness and like desire to make everyone feel happy and comfortable. And I feel like that's something that I really wish I had, and I wish that I had that effect on people. And I feel like you're somebody that just feels like family to everyone, and I really love that about you. Next is my JP Goretti. And Thomas was going by. But Goretti, you are such a genuine and smiley person. I feel like there's nobody that could see you laughing or smiling and wouldn't just naturally be inclined to laugh too, because I think that the level of carefreeness that you have and your ability to just be yourself regardless of what's going on is so lovable. I just remember I-Night when everyone was going around. It was like the first time everyone met and everyone was going around chanting each other's names. And I look over, and I've said this already, but I look over and you're just face down in your sleeping bag, and I just remember thinking, I like that girl a lot. And so just from the first night, I remember just being really, really drawn to how natural you are and authentic you are as a person. And honestly, watching you dance is one of my favorite things, because you genuinely just exude this passion for it, and it's really, it's noticeable, and it makes me wish I could dance. And so I'm really happy that we're doing the class dance together so I can learn how to dance from you. And the next person is Mary. I also haven't really gotten a chance to know you that well, but I feel like you're somebody that is very like a closeted, not closeted, but like just like a very funny person that doesn't normally get a chance to like express it. Because I just remember I remember in like the randomest moments you'll pull out something and it'll be really funny. Like during when we were practicing for High School Musical, and like it was a dance circle and you just started busting out some moves, and I feel like no one really saw that coming. Or like during the ASMR thing, I just feel like you're very willing to make other people laugh, and I feel like that's something that is really admirable and not something that people always are willing to do. And I feel like I thought you were shy coming into it, but I feel like you just haven't gotten the opportunity to really show like everyone how funny and like extroverted you are. And so I really want to get a chance to talk to you more and know you more. And the next person is Anna, and I feel like there have just been so many funny things that have happened related to you, and I mean that in the best way possible. And I just mean that because I feel like you're also a very genuine person and very straightforward and will say what's on your mind, and I love that. I wish I could be more like that, just because I feel like I think too much before I say things, and I just really admire your wit, and how you're able to just always be optimistic and happy, even when things get really rough. You always have a smile on your face, and so that's something that I really love about you. Erica, I remember I-Night. It was something that I also, because we were the ones that looked at each other and were like, we're out, like we're gonna go to sleep. And so that was something I remember really distinctly about you. And I love how just straightforward and candid you are. Like, you want to do something, you're gonna do it. You have something to say, you're just gonna say it. You're talented as hell, because I love watching you dance too, and I love hearing you sing. And I feel like that well-roundedness is so respectable, and I want to get to know you more, and learn how to sing and like hear more of your original songs too. And yeah, next is Erin. I honestly wasn't expecting to get close to you, but literally that night after we were studying and we just talked in a study lounge until the sunrise, till 7 a.m. I completely didn't see that coming, but it was honestly one of my favorite memories, just because of how natural it was and how how eye-opening it was to see that a lot of the times you don't expect the relationships that happen. And I genuinely admire you and want you to know that I hope to always be someone that you can talk to, and that I really appreciated that time that we had together. That wasn't like a designated pledge interview, or it wasn't like a designated whatever. It was just like, it was just two people that really connected, and I hope that we have more memories like that in the future. Next is Ahmed, and Ahmed, I feel like you were one of the first people that I really opened up to, just because I felt like we had a very similar mentality going into everything, and because we had a Crown Fam dance and it was just the two of us, and it was rough, but we made it through together. And I feel like you're somebody that's very secretly caring. Like, you don't outwardly show how much you're considering things for other people and how much you care about other people, but it is definitely there, and I think that's honestly such a testament to your character, because I feel like it says so much more when people are wanting to do things behind the scenes and not let everyone know about it. And so for that, I really really hope to get to know you better, and I guess like learn how to be more humble and genuinely want the best for other people without the need for any recognition myself. And yeah, Maddie, I feel like you are such a funny person, and I really also didn't know if I was gonna get close to you or not, but I feel like there's so much room for us to get closer, and I really do want to get to know you better. I had no idea what to expect going into your room for that wellness hour, but BTS was definitely not on the forefront of my mind. But I feel like because of that, like, there's so many layers to you that I haven't gotten to know yet, and I really want to get closer with you, because during interviews when people ask me who I want to get closer, you're definitely someone that comes to mind, just because I feel like we are probably very different people, but I feel like we have very similar mindset. And you were definitely somebody that I continuously went to when we were at Aaron's that one night, and it felt like we were really vibing. And so I want to have more chances to get to know you, and since we're both second years, I feel like there's a lot of experiences that we can share moving forward. And then Ryan, we've both talked about this with each other, but literally for the first 4 or 5 weeks we just didn't talk to each other, and I feel like that's really funny. But the night that we did and we got food from the study, I honestly just felt like we just got along really well, and like I feel like we have very similar vibes, and it just kind of clicked, and I thought that was super cool. And I honestly think that your idea about having the weekly piano sessions is such a great idea, because I feel like you're somebody that just exudes music and you want to like live in the music, and that's something that I'm definitely trying to be more of, just because the way that I was trained in piano is so different than I think that you were, and I want to be able to explore that more. And I feel like since we are both on this like grind, pre-med, pre-health, whatever, it's really important to have somebody else there that reminds you of all the things that there are to be passionate about outside of healthcare, because it's such a draining path that you need something else to balance it out. And so I think it's really cool that we have each other. And then Annie, literally after the first Monday meeting, when you were crying, I immediately felt this need to like protect you and comfort you. And I think that's because you are so strong and you can take so many things on your plate, and I feel like that shows just by the fact that after every single meeting you're the one that just goes through everything, organizes everything, tries to figure out all the scheduling out, and you do it without complaining. Like, you're not like, why am I the only person that's doing all the work? But you just know that that's what you need, and you do it, and I feel like that's really respectable. And I feel feel like you're a very self-disciplined person and you're very true to your own values, and those are both things that I wish I had during my first year of college. And you're just very yourself, and I love that. I genuinely love that about you, and I'm really happy that you are in my class. This is getting really long, but the last person is Patrick. And Patrick, you are definitely the person that I felt the closest to the earliest on, because we had Psych 10 together, and studying for the Psych 10 midterm honestly just made me like fall in love with your personality, because I felt like you were such a simple and genuine person, and that's something that I wish I had more of in my life. I just remember trying to remember what the hippocampus was, and I think it was like we were both like, if a hippo ran through the campus, we would remember that, and it was just like dumb things like that, and I feel like we just have a very similar sense of humor, and can laugh about a lot of things, and I feel like it's so great because like I feel like I get stressed out easily, but I don't show it, but like I am stressed out. But when I'm around you, you'll be like, oh yeah, I have this to do, that to do, whatever, so many things to do, and then you'll just like laugh, and then it'll be fine. Like you're stressed, but like you know it'll be okay. And so I feel like I'm so grateful to have you in my life now, and to have you as somebody that I can call my friend and my P-bro. But yeah, I feel like that was really long, and I feel like I went through everyone. I don't know how many people are actually gonna watch until this point. I think this is like 20 plus minutes, but yeah, like I just want to get to know all of you guys more. And I know a lot of people say classes get closer as time goes on, and that extends beyond pledge quarter, but like I feel like now there are just genuinely so many moments that I can look back on from this quarter and be like, I loved that moment, or like I genuinely laughed until I cried, or like I genuinely cried during lock-in. And so there's so many of those things that I'm gonna look back on and miss from this quarter, and even though this is absolute hell and I feel so tired and done, I know I'm gonna miss it, and I know I'm gonna miss having so much time to spend with each and every one of you guys. And yeah, that concludes my last vlog. Like, comment, and subscribe. Love you, Epsies.